YouTube, what is up, guys? The other day, you saw me take this tiny little ThrowDown Shuriken and get all the rust off of it, clean it up really good, and I told you guys, if you smashed like, that I would do a little review on it. Well, you guys did, so I'm a man of my word, so smash a like on this video now, and let's get into it. Alright guys, so check it out. Here is the ThrowDown Shuriken prototype. Now, this thing was all rusted and everything. I did a video recently, you know, kind of like restoring it. And you might have seen this in that video. Now, if you didn't know, the Shuriken was actually like the little brother of the ThrowDown Luchador. So the Luchador was like their first real yo-yo they put out. And then the second one was the Shuriken. Now, this is a prototype. The regular one had a black finish and there was like a throwing star. Shuriken means throwing star in Japanese, I believe. But it was a little like laser engraving. I'll put a picture of it and you can check it out. But it had these spikes similar to like spy yo-yos at the time, and it uses a type D concave bearing. So these bearings, they're about as wide as a type C, but they're smaller in diameter, just slightly bigger than a type A bearing, like you see in looping yo-yos and most old Duncan yo-yos, stuff like that. On this it took pads. I believe it came stock with diff pads, but on here I have one very, very, very worn diff pad and one Kintaro pad. And I seem to like it like this. And this yo-yo, this is made out of stainless steel. And the regular one, it wasn't like an anodizing coating, it was like some type of like Teflon finish or something they had on it. And I remember the production run was actually like a gram or half a gram lighter, but I liked the prototype one way better. I had two. One of them got stolen or lost or something. I think I left it at a contest actually, and then the other one I sold or something. So I only have the prototype one, but I actually liked the prototype one better. I remember I was one of the only people in the, like when we were testing, I'm like, no, don't leave it the same. Don't take any weight off. And the coating they ended up putting it on eventually led to things like a lot of people had problems, not all of them, but a lot of people had problems with it would cut the string, so you'd have to like take the pouch it came with and like, you know, rub it down for like an hour and it would like smooth it out enough where it wouldn't cut the strings. And a lot of people had problems with that right at first. When they first came out, I remember that. But if they would have just left it like this, it would have been fine. Obviously it's steel, so it will rust and stuff if you don't take care of it. But at the time, there was no, like, the smallest yo-yo at the time was like the Mini Motu, and this was way smaller. And it actually plays really good. I'll put the specs right there. The specs are the same on the production run, except the weight will be different. So I'm going to put the weight of this one, not the production run, on the screen. I'll measure it all off camera, weigh it off camera. But yeah, so I also had to fix the bearing. The bearing was all jacked up. This thing was sitting in my cabinet for years. So now that it's working, let's play with it a little bit, and I'll show you how it plays. Okay, guys, we are all strung up here. Now, obviously, this is an old yo-yo, so to today's standards, like, it's not. At the time, this yo-yo was considered to be like really smooth, but there's like, you know, not a bad vibe, but there's a slight vibe. But it's actually still really, really stable. It's not a 10 out of 10 smoothness, but as far as having pads, it's pretty damn good. Like, all the vibe is coming just because the pad is rubbing on the string. These pads, they're not really like recessed in, so they're basically always touching the string. But for its time, I do think this yo-yo was quite a bit ahead of its time. This prototype one, though, is much better than the production run, just because the weight is actually a little better. Like, you'll notice it is a tiny, tiny yo-yo, but it still has a lot of rim weight, and it's actually quite long spinning for a mini yo-yo. Like, if you ever played with a Mighty Flea, you have like 5 seconds of spin and see what you can do. This, though, it's the size in between. The next smallest yo-yo, I'd say it was the Rain City's Looney. That one's smaller. And then the Pop Star is larger. This is kind of like right in the middle. No, I feel this is the perfect size as far as like, yeah, any smaller than this, you're losing playability. This is the smallest you can probably go and still be quite playable. like, I mean, even with the pads and the small bearing, like, I'm still getting nice long spin times, and because it's got the metal rings on it, like, it's really rim weighted and stable still. Like, it actually is a mini yo-yo that you could play, you know, pretty good with. Now here, it also, even though it's little, oh, this is kind of hard. I've done this before. Come on, Dylan. Oh, you can thumb grind with it. The hardest thing is just, like, it's small, but there's a big thumb grind lip if you can catch it. Here we go. Come on, Dylan. There we go. See? You can thumb grind with it. It's just hard because it's little, you know? Also, too, it's got these spikes, so you could, like, you know, do some talon grinds, some pull starts, stuff like that. But yeah, this really is, like, still, like, one of the best mini yo-yos I've ever played with. It truly is a miniature yo-yo. But like I said before, there is smaller yo-yos. But in my opinion, if you go a little smaller than this, the yo-yos get too square shaped. Like, this is still shaped like a yo-yo, you know? Very, very tiny, but it still has that classic yo-yo profile. And at the time, the Luchador was like my favorite yo-yo. I was sponsored by ThrowDown. I was competing with Luchadors. So it was awesome to have like a mini one. Also too, I remember like this is the yo-yo I learned chopsticks on. Which is crazy. Because it's so little, it's like actually like so easy to go between your index finger and your thumb. And also too, practicing your whip tricks on small yo-yos like this, it's obviously harder. Like I just missed 3 in a row. There we go. But it's gonna make your accuracy like way better. Oh, come on. Like if you can land these tricks on here, then you go back, you do it on a regular yo-yo, you're gonna be like a freaking sniper. Same thing with like boingy boings and Eli hops. Like if you practice those on small yo-yos like this, when it comes time to do it on a large yo-yo, it's gonna be even easier. So yeah, obviously blast from the past, not something like you would go out to try to have as like your best yo-yo. But as far as something small in your pocket that's awesome, these things are really one of a kind. I think there's like less than 5 prototype ones or something. I don't know who else has any. I bet you Ed Hoponick has one. James Buffington probably has one. And I don't know where the other ones are. But yeah, if you ever stumble across one of these on eBay, think about it. It's actually really cool. If you get a regular production run Shuriken, they were also very good. You just have to make sure you like right on the inside of the bearing seat, like right on the outside wall, not the bearing seat, but like right where the yo-yo starts to curve. You gotta like rub it down with like a Scotch-Brite pad or, you know, it's just a felt cloth for a while to just kind of work it down a little. Not so much where you take the finish off, but it'll just smooth it out a little bit and then it won't cut strings. Not all of them had the problems where they cut strings, but some people did. I remember it was like I had 2 of them and neither of them cut strings and I never did anything. I just played with them a lot, so that I think the natural string kind of wore it down a little bit. But I change my strings like crazy. I've always had string sponsors, so I just, you know, like right now the string is like, to most of you guys looks fine. I'm ready to toss it away. So yeah, so thanks for watching. Check out this little blast from the past. If there's any info on this on like Yo-Yo Wiki and stuff, I'll put that link down below. So let me know what other random weird yo-yo videos you guys want to see. I appreciate the support, and until next time, peace out.